Hi, I'm Robert from Magnanimous Media, and today we'll be looking at the Sennheiser G3 Wireless Lavalier Kit, which is a compact and lightweight audio solution made primarily of durable metal that's great for recording dialogue and voice in almost any situation. And since it's wireless, you don't have to worry about running long cables or sacrificing mobility. Some of the feature highlights include 1,680 UHF frequencies for longer range and less interference, 21 frequency banks with 12 channels each that make establishing a connection simple, and illuminated displays to easily manage and change settings. This set includes a transmitter, receiver, omnidirectional lavalier mic, XLR output cable, 1/8 inch output cable, and shoe mount for attaching the receiver to your camera. The transmitter also features a belt clip for easy and convenient concealment. The first step in setting up the transmitter and receiver is to place batteries in them. To do that, open their front panels and place 2 AA batteries in each. Alkaline or lithium single-use batteries are the best to use. On a new set, you should be able to get at least 8 hours out of them. If you plan to use rechargeable batteries, make sure you have the ability to switch them out. They tend to provide less voltage, which can potentially cause distortion, signal loss, and shorter operating times. Next, plug the lavalier microphone into the top of the transmitter and gently tighten the nut to secure it. Then, plug in the appropriate output cable into the top of the receiver and into your camera or recorder. One thing to note is that the receiver and transmitter look nearly identical, so make sure to double check which is which. With the front panel still open, turn on the receiver by pressing the on-off button. At the home screen, the most important things to note are your RF and AF meters. RF is the strength of your wireless connection between the transmitter and receiver, and AF is the actual level of audio being sent to the receiver. The elongated button just below the screen is used for navigation and changing values. Set enters the main menu and confirms selections, and the power button can be used as a way to quickly exit the menu and get back to the home screen. The next thing to do is set the frequency of the system. In the receiver, press Set to enter the menu and navigate to Easy Setup. Then find and select the Scan New List option. This will scan through all 1,680 frequencies in order to tell you what is available and what is not. So make sure to do this in the actual environment in which you'll be recording. After the scan is done, you'll be presented with a list of 21 frequency banks and how many free channels each has, with the maximum being 12. Select your bank and then select your channel. Now, let's sync the receiver to the transmitter. To do this, in the receiver's menu, select the Sync option. The receiver will now start trying to pair itself with the transmitter. To confirm the sync, hold the transmitter and receiver face to face and align their infrared windows, which are just to the right of their on-off buttons. A check mark will appear and the RF light on the receiver should become green, confirming the connection. The transmitter should give you at least 300 feet of range, but to ensure and maximize this, make sure whenever possible to try to keep a direct line of sight between the transmitter and the receiver. The most obvious obstacle is of course walls, but you also want to avoid things like people and large crowds getting in the way. To set the audio level that will be received by your camera or recorder, navigate the receiver menu to the AF Out option. Here you can set the level and increments of plus or minus 6 dB. For most configurations, 0 dB is a good place to start, which happens to be the default. However, this setting will depend greatly on your camera or recorder that your receiver is connected to. And it's not uncommon to have to go down to -18 dB or even up to 12 dB. No matter what though, you should always make sure to check your levels with headphones before you start recording. Of course, your camera or recorder will also have its own set of audio settings and levels. That's beyond the scope of this video, but those will have to be properly set as well before recording. At this point, if you speak into the microphone, you should now see the AF meter on the far left side of the transmitter's home screen moving up and down, which means the signal is being sent. You want this to generally average between 50 and 90% of the screen to avoid clipping or a noisy signal. Test this by having your subject talk into the microphone at the level they will be speaking at while recording. If the AF meter is consistently too high or too low, go into the transmitter's menu and select the sensitivity option and adjust accordingly. Negative 30 dB is the default sensitivity and 0 dB is the maximum, which can be changed in increments of 3 and negative 3 dB. So whether it's an interview, conference, documentary, or narrative film, wireless lavaliers are perfect for recording someone's voice. And although lavs might not be the best for every situation, they are pretty much always useful as a safety or secondary track at the very least. This kit in particular is a great balance of quality and affordability, so regardless of your budget, you're going to get great performance. If you're interested in renting this kit from us, head over to our website at magnanimous.biz.